The government's just released its future gas strategy, and if you're a gas executive, today is an exciting day because the government thinks you've got a big future. The problem is, if you're interested in the climate science, this is a terribly alarming development, because rather than tackling climate change, the Albanese government is talking about reducing the barriers to the gas industry's expansion. They've just released a 110-page strategy to help the gas industry grow. This is a denial of the climate science, and it's also a denial of the last election result, where an overwhelming number of Australians thought they were voting for candidates who were going to do something serious about climate change. And you can't tackle climate change when you're still expanding and indeed subsidising the fossil fuel industry. Now, the report's full of exciting graphs and numbers trying to tell us how important it is that the gas industry grows and how important it is to the economy. But get this, they don't even mention the petroleum resource rent tax in this whole strategy about the gas industry. And the petroleum resource rent tax is supposed to be the tax that makes sure we get our fair share from all of the money the gas industry makes. But of course, in Australia, we know that we collect more revenue from kids repaying HECS debts than we get from the gas industry paying its petroleum resource rent tax. There's a whole section in the report that talks about the contribution of the gas industry to Australia's economy, but it's only got one reference. And that's a reference to a report commissioned by the gas industry. They don't even use data from Treasury or the Department of Industry or the Australian Bureau of Statistics. Madeleine King, the Minister for Resources, or the Minister for Exporting Resources, has even written an op-ed where the headline says it all. We need more gas, apparently to tackle climate change. According to her op-ed, we need gas to help us achieve our commitment to net zero. No, because science. What we need is less fossil fuels, not more. This is bizarre. The Australian government is denying the climate science when it says we need to extract and burn more fossil fuels to help us lower greenhouse gas emissions. That's the opposite of the truth. And this is the same government that wants to host a UN climate conference, a COP, in 2026. This is embarrassing. She also says, and gas must remain affordable for Australians. Well, you know what made gas dear? Exporting it. Australia used to have cheap gas, and then we opened up our gas market to the rest of the world, and the price of gas trebled. Now, rather than blame the gas exports for driving up our prices, we're saying we need to export more gas if we're going to make gas cheap again. This is nonsense. They're not just denying the climate science, they're denying the economics as well. She also goes on to say that Australia's gas industry is one of our great economic success stories. And she says that it generates $72 billion worth of export income. This is nonsense. This is nonsense. Export revenue goes to the pockets of the people who are doing the exporting. And that's the foreign-owned gas industry. 80% of Australia's gas industry is foreign-owned. The $72 billion doesn't go to you, it doesn't go to roads, it doesn't go to hospitals, it goes to gas execs and foreign shareholders in foreign-owned gas companies. This is misleading. This is a denial of accounting as well as the science and the economics. Australia is the third largest fossil fuel exporter in the world, and this gas plan is a plan to make us even bigger. Again, this is the opposite of what the science says we need. It's the opposite of what the UN Secretary General says we need. It's the opposite of what the International Energy Agency says we need if we want to keep climate change to 1.5 degrees. This is not complicated, but this is dangerous. This is a plan to expand the industry that's causing climate change, and we're greenwashing it and calling it a solution. It's sick.
Thanks for watching. If you like watching our videos or if you learned something new, let us know by leaving a like. And if you share this video on your social media or send it to a friend, that really helps us to get the message out. See you next time.